coming up this weekend at the Emirates against Arsenal, and we're going to hear from Mikel Arteta, followed by Erik Ten Hag.
Kieran, Nuno today, good thing for them and for the club?
Well, we're working together to find the best possible solutions, and we found them. And I think the players are happy, and the club in general. I think we did some good business as well.
With Balogun, it's obviously a permanent deal and a good deal as well, because pure profit, an academy graduate, and I think a 17.5% salon clause as well.
Well, we didn't have now space for him in the squad to give him the minutes that he needs, and he did really well last year in his long period, and he's evolving the right way. And he wanted as well the chance to continue developing his career. He's going to a really good club. They have huge experience on developing talent, as everybody knows. So really happy for him as well.
It's deadline day. Are you as excited as the rest of us?
You should be tired. You've been doing that for many months. So I think it's the end, at least here in the UK, not everywhere, but at least here. So let's finish it in the right way.
Mikel Arteta, deadline day, MADD, mad. Is it going to be a mad one or a serene one for you?
For me, serene. I don't have to do much more work. It's more all the recruitment, everyone, the boys, trying to finalize a few things still today.
And they've not been outs, obviously, because you did your business for ins early on.
Yes.
Can you bear with us if I play a little game of stay or go?
In what sense? Please come in, you mean? I don't expect nobody to come
Stay
in.
or go? Prop holding, stay or go?
No, I'm not going to reply anything, you know that.
So it's not stay or go, it's no.
There is nobody else coming in that we don't expect. That's what I can say.
On stay or go, obviously not staying with you in this international break, but going on England duty, Eddie, you pleased for him?
So pleased. If someone deserves in this squad, that's him as well. An academy player that had some moment, when his pathway wasn't very clear and he had to fight it through. And I just love his mentality, his work rate, how much he loves this game, and how hard he's fought, to be recognized at that level in this country, to play there. You have to be phenomenal at something, and I'm so happy for him.
Do you take personal pride in the part you've played?
I think everybody that's been involved in his development obviously feels extremely proud to be part of that journey with him, and everybody that was here at the academy with him, everybody that has been in that journey, his family for sure, they're extremely proud of him. So really nice moment for him.
Manchester United, always a big game. How important is it that you put down a marker this early in the season with a victory?
Well, that's what we want. Obviously, we know the history between the two clubs and the games that we had in the past as well. Last year it was a really good example. So it's going to be an extremely competitive match, really a big battle on Sunday. And obviously we want to come away from that with 3 points.
Alice from the Premier League.
Hi. On Manchester United on Sunday, as Gary touched on there, billed by many as a huge fixture, despite how early into the season we are just now. How much do you view this meeting as an early indicator of both clubs' credentials for the Premier League title?
I don't know. I think it's that early in the season. We all want to win games. We want to play the best possible way, and that is not going to dictate. But obviously, it gives you momentum. It gives you belief. And before the international break, it's always very important to finish well, to win your game and go back now in September with another block of games before the next one with a high.
Both league fixtures last season between you and United were pretty gripping. I think 9 goals scored between you. What is it about this encounter that makes it such a high-scoring fixture?
Well, first of all, the quality of the players. Obviously, there are a lot of offensive top players in the two teams, and they as well probably the approach of both teams, the way they want to play. There were some errors as well there involved, which hopefully we can eradicate as well. But normally it's very entertaining match.
Yeah, you remain unbeaten after 3 games, 7 points from 9, a return only bettered by Man City so far. You spoke, though, of your frustration at points lost in Saturday's draw against Fulham. How much do you feel that last season's title challenge has raised expectation around the club's ambitions this season for yourself personally and also for your fans?
We raise the level in everything that we do every single year, and we have to demand each other more and better, and this is what we do. And when you see the reaction when you draw a match, I think it's a great indicator of where you want to be and the demands that you put to yourself.
and finally for me, you've been fairly experimental in your lineups in your opening games so far compared to last season at least. So I just wonder, how happy are you with the effect that those changes have had on your team as a whole, and how happy are you with your players up to now?
Really happy. I said against Fulham, after watching the game twice, that we played 10 times better. I don't know if it was 6 or 10, but we definitely played 6 or 10 times much better. But this is about results. And one thing is to play really well, and the one to compete really well. And what we didn't do is when we had to compete in certain moments the best possible way, do that. But play 10 times better. I reaffirm you.
And then Kirill at left back. What did you like so much about that?
I think we discussed formations in a different way. In the other day, there were 36 different formations in the match. Against Manchester City, 43. So I don't know what formation we talk about. For me, it's something very different. Maybe for the eyes that you look.
No, but I think a lot of people look at the teams you picked and would say that the back four you picked last season was so successful.
The personnel is different, yeah.
Yeah. So is there a chance that you could revert back to that for the Man United game on Sunday?
Well, I played different against Manchester City, and there were 43 different structures in different phases. Every morning I come from my house to Colney. Sometimes I leave at 6, and I need to go in the windscreen because it's icy. And at 6 o'clock, normally I go Finchley Road and then A41 because it's faster. Now Finchley Road is 20 miles an hour, so sometimes I take a back door. But then I go on the M25. But depending if it's a school ride, and that time I take one exit. If it's after 7 o'clock, I take a different exit. And then I go. And one day I have a flat tire. What do? I have to replace it. Maybe I take a different road because the garage is there. So every game is a different story, guys. Different story.
Okay, will Rasmus Højlund be available to make his debut?
Yes. So we had a good training week. And so tomorrow we have a final training. But he's doing well. He's responding well. So he will be available for Sunday game.
We've seen Altay Binder arrive. Will he be eligible to be involved on Sunday? And will anyone else potentially arrive and be available?
He will be in the squad as well, yeah. Altay, so happy. Now we have the keeper group. Again, is fully there. We covered every position. So I think we have a very good keeper group with the arrival of Altay.
Is there a chance of anyone else signing in time to play on Sunday?
What do you mean?
Is there any? Obviously, United are looking at some other options. Is there a chance any of them will be signed in time to play on Sunday?
On Sunday? Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. Could be, but then we have to request it by now.
Does that mean Reguilon? Is he here?
He is here. He trained.
So he will be available for Sunday as well.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Just in terms of we told about Amrabat and the midfield option that's moving close. Will that give you the squad that you
know
want?
that?
Well, I mean, people in Florence seem to think that's true.
Oh yeah, but there's so many rumors. But it's nice, eh?
But would is that, if you got that position sorted, would that give you the squad that you want?
I think yes, we have done good business. We constructed a strong squad, and we are ready to go into the fight.
And does that also mean that we've spoken a lot about Harry? Scott McTominay's been mentioned a lot. Does that mean they are here? They are part of the squad. They have an important role to play.
Yes, if you see the shadow, and it's tough. It's really condensed. When you see last season, World Cup, crazy season, less the season takes longer. 2 weeks. We played the FA Cup final 1 week longer. We had a short break where we really condensed pre-season again. So we need numbers, but also need not only numbers. You need also the numbers have to be quality. And I think with this squad we have the depth and we have quality players in. And We can be variable in variety systems, and yeah, we are happy with it. And what I said, we are ready to go into the fight.
Hey, also Bayındır, what do you like about him? He'll be the first Turkish player to play for Manchester United as well, so a big moment for Turkish football fans as well.
Yeah, we we followed him, we scouted him very intense, and yeah, we think he has the skills that he fit in Man United, fit in English football, that he has the skills. So yeah, we are really glad that we signed him, and yeah, we are confident that he will make a lot of progress in the coming period, the coming years, and he will be a huge contribution to our game.
And you mentioned Sergio Reguilon has trained with the club. What qualities will he bring in that position? Is he up to being thrown straight in and replacing at fullback immediately?
He's a very experienced player. Player for big clubs, play already a lot of games in La Liga, in Premier League. So he has, I think, a very good background. We have seen he can play very intense football. Yeah, so we are happy. While we had a problem with Luke Shaw injured, time Malasia injured, for a long time out. So I think we responded very well on that emergency situation.
And Sofian Amrabat, I know he's a player you worked with at FC Utrecht. Again, really a player who could make a difference this side?
I can't tell because I don't know if we can sign. So if we have news, we will report it immediately.
One more, if I may. Andre Onana, quite cryptic on social media about whether he might be playing for Cameroon and coming back to the side there after withdrawing from international football. Do you know any more about that? Because obviously the Africa Cup of Nations is in the Ivory Coast this year in January, and there'd be an impact if he does play.
I know everything about it, so of course we spoke about that situation before we signed him, and we will be in good contact with Andre how to deal with the situation.
So is he able to play for Cameroon again?
But I said I'm in good contact with Andre, and we are on the same page. We know what to do, and also we know how we constructed the squad, how we can deal with it. But as I said, we have to speak about, and then we will make a decision.
Last question in this section, PLP.
Hi, Eric. Historically, games between Arsenal and Manchester United have been big games. What are you expecting from Mikel Arteta's side, and what have you made of what they've done to their squad this season?
It's one of the biggest games in the Premier League, and how we're really looking forward, of course, that fight, and really always interesting games, intense games. I think it's very two teams who really play offensive football. The right intentions, I would say. The audience is always the big winner of that game. So really looking forward to have that game.
And just finally, the Champions League draw. What have you made of your group? And if you do get the additions that are hopeful for today, have you got the depth of squad to tackle 4 competitions?
I think, but therefore we need, as you say, the depth to go into the 4 competitions. But also our players, the most of them are international players for the nations, so they will go all over the world. So we have to cover that. We have to be prepared for that situation, that we always can put a competitive team on the pitch. He's quick,
just one final question, if I may.
For this section?
Yeah. There's a lot of expectation on Rasmus Højlund. Are you expecting him to make an immediate impact, or do people, fans in particular, you and the coaching staff, have to be patient with him? Because there's a big focus on him, isn't there? It's a big spotlight.
I think for every player, it's a big spotlight. At United, you have to perform. And so in every position and every player.
Is he fit enough to start this weekend, would you say? Or is that too soon?
Well, I think he's ready to start.
We're all really looking forward to this one. And I wonder how you see this, Karen, because I think it's quite a good opportunity to gauge where both teams are at, because they haven't been that convincing this season.
No, I think Arsenal went big in the transfer window. There's that pressure, that expectation, right? Go and do that next best thing of winning. And that, for me, when I've watched them the last few games, they've played a little bit differently from last season. Last season, I thought they moved the ball so quick. It was rapid. It was just, I was so impressed with the intensity. This year it feels a little bit slower, but a little bit more controlled. But I felt they've struggled to break teams down, even though they have scored. But I think they could cause some big problems for Manchester United. But Man United as well are not playing well, but finding results. So you're right, both teams not in the rhythm, but two top teams really figuring it out.
I mean, it's a sign of a good side as well, isn't it, when you can win not playing
Yeah,
the best, especially at the start of the season. But for Arsenal, I wonder, how do you think they're coping with being a team now that everyone wants to beat? Because it comes with a different sort of pressure, doesn't it?
Well, expectation level, being at the top of the league for so many weeks. I think it was a record, actually, in the Premier League. They were at the top, leading the way. Great players. Saka, Martinelli, Nketiah, back in the team, scoring goals, playing ahead of Jesus. Rice, I think Rice makes them automatically better, stronger. You could arguably say that West Ham wouldn't have did what they did last season without the influence of Declan Rice, so he's a brilliant signing. Defensively, Saliba, Gabriel, they've strengthened at the back, and I genuinely feel Arsenal will have another top four season. Not quite sure if they can topple Man City. Man City, they're just a different animal.
Don't know if anyone can.
Oh, they can call on so many players, but I think Arsenal have to try. You know, they've added to the group, as I said, Havertz as well. I'm like Karen. I think Man United came back from 2-0 down last week to win 3-2, showed great character, spirit in the team, but they can't afford to start like that against Arsenal on the weekend. I mean, Arsenal I know Arsenal are pegged back as well by Fulham, as you said. Neither team are really flying at the minute, but I don't think United can afford to go to the Emirates and concede 2 early goals. I think they'll get beat if that happens.
Yeah, how do you see it in terms of Man United's perspective? Do you see it as really poor for going behind so early on, 2-0, or do you see it as, well, actually they showed great character to come back? Which way do you look at it?
Like I said, the story in the start of the season, I think Man United have been poor, but when you have players like Rashford, who's playing his more preferred position on the left, and you've got magical players that can just create something out of nothing, you've always got a chance, and that's why they've probably spent 1.5 billion since Alex Ferguson's left. So I have to say it was a great comeback, and again, Rashford at his best.
It's like a flow of attack. I've been there. I went 2-0 up one year at Man United to Coventry, and we ended up losing 4-2. It's waves and waves and waves of attack, and just naturally you just drop. You're almost camped out on the edge of your 18-yard box. When that row, United get one back, they get two back. It's almost like it's inevitable they're going to get a winner, and I think that's what happened. I think they just caved in after a really great start, Nottingham Forest last week.
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously, we're talking about signings, obviously, because it's the transfer deadline. The window shuts very, very soon indeed, about just under 20 minutes to go. But the signing of Højlund, I mean, this is a game that he could make his debut. He is fit enough to do so. Is it a game, do you think the manager will start him in, or is it too big a game to make your debut in?
Personally, I'd probably wait. For me, it's a real big game. But then if tactically you think he's fit and he's available, and I can have a target player. I've got a goalkeeper now that can play short and draw you in, and Arsenal will press you because that's what they'll do, and you can skip it and go long to the target player. I'm sure John will know more about that than me. But if you have that option, I think it's a really good one. So I personally wouldn't, but if the manager, Ten Hag, believes tactically he can win us a football match and he's going to be our out, then he might play him.
What's he paid for him? 72 million? Something like that?
Yeah.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
How can you buy a player?
I mean, I'm sure the player would love to make his debut in a game like this, but it's whether the manager thinks he's ready.
He'd be chomping at the bit to get going, to get started, score his first goal for Man United, go and show the supporters you're worthy of that price tag. I know you haven't got much to say as a player about the price tag, but he's very, very highly rated by Ten Hag. He should be in the team. Get in the team. Go. We need you. We need you right now at Arsenal. We need a centre forward to score us goals with Rashford alongside him, do you know? So
I think the big question though, John, is Amrabat fit? Because I'd prefer to play him personally. After seeing Man United's midfield the last few weeks,
It's what they need.
Yeah.
If he's fit, I definitely would play him next to Casemiro. But whether he wants a centre forward in, you're going to back your centre forwards, aren't you? I love it.
I just think big summer signing. Get him in.
Yeah.
Get him in. What better place to go and start other than Arsenal?
Hello and welcome back. We're going to talk Manchester United next because while they did take all 3 points against Nottingham Forest, that is their worst ever start to any Premier League game. They conceded 2 goals in the opening 4 minutes. And it's not just that it's a one-off. It feels like it hints at deeper issues at Manchester United, or highlighted deeper issues.
I'd say, especially with the sitting, I'd say to Man United fans, continue. Don't just sit in when you win. People saying, oh, you only sit in when you lose. But they should. I was quite pleased to see them do that sitting when they lost. But you look at Man United and it has to come from upstairs. There's too much going on. There's too much toxicity around the place. And the sooner they change that, I think, on the pitch, because I think they've got the players. You can see the fact that they came back. Bruno Fernandes, whatever people say, he's literally lifted the team up and he's dragged them through. They've got that quality. But I just think that there's just so much. It's just too up in the air. Players just signing. You know what I mean? Everything was happening. Nothing seems to can go right for them. Even though they've gone 20 games unbeaten at Old Trafford. Nothing seems to go right for them because there's too much going on, I think. It needs to be sorted out upstairs.
Yeah, it does feel like a club where you walk in on match day at Old Trafford and there is a lot happening.
Absolutely. I got trapped in the Munich tunnel last year on a protest day for a home fixture. It was that fixture against Leicester, actually. And yeah, it is a place which is rumbling, and it sometimes is a little bit painful inside the stadium because you can feel it, even when they win. Okay, they got 3 points yesterday, but, against a team like Nottingham Forest, if Man United talk about the team they want to be, this big club, that dominates the Premier League, then no disrespect to Nottingham Forest, but you need to be beating them comfortably at home, and they're not doing that. They're 2-0 down, and on another day, if it's not